Hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Wallace. I have the honor of serving as the Program Specialist for World Languages and Global Workforce Initiatives with the Georgia Department of Education. My contact information is on the screen here and, of course, in this presentation, but you can also find it very easily by going to our website. It's located in the top right corner, and you can get there by Googling Georgia Department of Ed World Languages. I just wanted to first make you aware of several modules that are available for teachers statewide. These are modules that we've created through the Georgia Learns platform. They should be available through your SLDS platform, whatever that might be at the district level. Recently, we completed 2 new ones, the instructional use of can-do statements course and also the strengthening your core competencies in world language course. These courses are really very good courses for teachers and really talk about what are the major core competencies of being an effective world language teacher in Georgia. I want to talk about our major programs, and of course, there's a lot more information available on our websites. And also available via just reaching out to me. So if you have any questions about anything that I'm presenting today, just simply reach out to me at the Department of Ed, and I'll be happy to clarify anything that you need help with. So one of the major programs I run here at the Georgia Department of Ed is called the Georgia Seal of Biliteracy. It's part of a nationwide effort, and I just wanted to quickly show you that. The SEAL program began in 2011 in California. Fast forward 10 years, and now 45 states have passed laws that establish seals of biliteracy in their states. So in Georgia, this happened in 2016. In language teaching and learning, there's been a couple paradigm shifts that have happened. It used to be in the past that we've learned about language, and more the focus is on accessing content through language and using language to communicate. So we're much more proficiency oriented. And the reason for that is because, of course, proficiency is where really the rubber meets the road when it comes to language. So being able to use the language in a context of a work environment or in some situations is really what we're focused on. So ACTFL, which is the American Council for Teaching of Foreign Languages, has a scale that runs from novice learners all the way up to distinguished learners. And this scale is used a lot of times when we talk about proficiency. So if you see this scale, and if particularly when we're talking about seal of biliteracy, we're talking about a scale, and we're talking about reaching a goal of intermediate high on that scale. So just wanted to kind of give you a little background. So if we look at the path to proficiency, as it were, how do students become better and better in using the language, whether it be in some social situation or at work? Like I said, the bar that we have set for the Georgia Seal of Biliteracy is intermediate high. Every state that passes a Seal of Biliteracy law establishes the bar. And in Georgia, this is intermediate high. So the Georgia Seal has been going, as I said, since 2016. We have awarded the first seals of biliteracy in over 20 different languages. Of course, not all these languages are taught in Georgia, and that's something important first to realize about the seal, that it is not based upon a grade in class or anything like that. It's based on whether a student has a high proficiency in the language. Our biggest obstacle when it comes to awarding seals of biliteracy is honestly finding an appropriate test that measures all the different aspects, speaking, reading, writing, listening, in the language. So we now have tests to be able to, we have qualified tests to be able to test students in over 100 different languages for the seal of biliteracy. And I fully expect that we'll have in the future even more different languages represented and students earning the first seal of biliteracy for their communities here in Georgia. What are the requirements for the seal of biliteracy? So first of all, it's only available to public high school seniors. So this is for your seniors. They get it at graduation. How do they qualify? The first and foremost, they have to establish that they have met on the English side the requirements. So instead of a test for English proficiency, when the law was developed and passed, that that certification of English proficiency is measured through completion of all English language arts requirement for graduation and to have a GPA of 3.0 or above. So to qualify on the English side, students must have a GPA of 3.0 or above in their required English language arts courses. Secondly, and this is directly from the law, by the way, the second component is that they must demonstrate proficiency in one or more languages other than English. And I should stop and pause at this point and say you can earn the seal in as many different languages as you are proficient in. So a student can conceivably earn a seal of biliteracy in 3 or 4 different languages. So the law establishes that students first and foremost must pass a foreign language advanced placement examination with a score of 4 or better, or an IB examination with a score of 5 or better. Now, that's fine for AP and IB, but as you know, first of all, AP and IB doesn't exist in every school in Georgia. And secondly, AP only has tests in 6 different languages. So as you read further into that part of the law, it says that for languages in which AP or IB are not available, will provide a listing as a Department of Ed of equivalent summative examinations. So basically, if a student is in your school and wants to earn the seal of biliteracy and you offer AP Spanish, then the pathway for them to do that is through the AP Spanish exam. But if, for example, a student is in your school and your school does not offer AP Spanish, then they can choose from any of the Tier 2 tests. So this is where I'll show you this chart that we've developed. So Tier 1 is AP and IB. So if your school offers AP or IB, as you just read, according to the law, the pathway for the seal is through that AP or IB test. However, if you're in a school in which there is no AP Spanish or AP French, AP German, then you can choose from any test in the Tier 2 category, which is approved for that language. So this is also the case, for example, in non-AP languages, for example, in Hindi. So you have a student who is proficient in Hindi, wants to earn the seal of biliteracy in Hindi. They can choose from any test that is approved in the Tier 2 category here. The first few there, the Avant and Stamp and ACTFL tests, actually are tests that cover a wide variety of languages. So there might be 30 different languages that are covered by that test. That is, again, one of the biggest challenges is finding tests that qualify students for the seal. But they are all listed here as well as the qualifying score. And that's, you might see on the far right of this scale, you'll see 4s and 5s and 1+ and A's and B's. And that's because these tests come from a variety of different places all around the world. And some use the ILR scale, which is a scale used by the military and the government to measure proficiency. So 1+, for example, is an ILR score, or 6, so on. But there's also the ACTFL scale, which is intermediate high, as we've said. And there's also a European scale, which is B1 at the B1 level. So it has A, B, and C levels. So just so you understand that what we've done is taken these tests from a variety of different sources, both domestic as well as abroad, and we have collated them and coordinated them to match that intermediate high level that we have here in Georgia. So long story short, we have tests to cover about 100 different languages. So if you have any questions, of course, you can just reach out to me. We did publish a guidance document on this piece to help provide further information. We've also, developed outreach in different languages. So this is our outreach in Spanish for the Georgia Seal of Biliteracy. So this is outreach, again, to those who may not speak English as their native language, parents, for example, who can access information through English. We have made it available in different languages, including Korean, Japanese, French, and German, etc. This is on our website. Again, if you have any questions about Seal of Biliteracy, I'm here to support you, so simply reach out to me with any specifics. A lot of times, these are covered in our guidance documents on our webpage, but you may have specific questions that turn up later as you get into that. The second program I run is the International Skills Diploma Seal, which is a program that recognizes students who have embarked upon an international focus in their high school education. So this is a program that seeks to recognize and identify students who are graduating from Georgia high schools with a focus on international, whether it be relations, marketing, business, whatever it might be. So the requirements for the ISDS, as we call it, are on our webpage, and they're listed here. So on the world language side, we'd like one requirement is that they have at least 3 credits in the same language. It can also be an ESOL pathway if English is not their native language. And they must have some international focus requirements. So at least 4 credits in courses determined to have an international focus. And we have, as a committee, been reviewing courses suggestions over the years. These are published on our website. So approved ISDS courses are, there is a document on our website with that information. And then at least 4 extracurricular activities and experiences with global themes in our context. That was also an international focus requirement, but because of COVID and the interruptions in exchange programs and other in clubs, meeting or groups, we have waived this requirement last year. We're going to continue to waive it this year until we get past this pandemic. But for now, there's also a requirement built into this where there's 20 hours of community service. Again, we're waiving that for this year as well as because of COVID. There is still the requirement that students perform a capstone presentation, and that is part of their ISDS requirement. I should say that for the Georgia Seal of Biliteracy, it is available, again, to any public school student in Georgia who has high proficiency in a second language. The International Skills Diploma Seal, however, requires that a school complete an application to join this program. So if your school is offering the ISDS, you're already familiar with that. But if your school is interested in joining the ISDS family of schools, there's an application that the school has to fill out and then submit, and that is reviewed, and then the application is accepted, hopefully, and you begin the process. So again, there's a lot more information on these programs that I can cover in a short, brief video, but I at least start making you aware of it. And of course, again, I'm here to answer any questions you have. Last year, we always have each school that is in the ISDS program has a star student that they nominate. Those star students participate in a culminating spring ceremony, which we did this past spring, which we had speakers from the International Office of Atlanta, as well as the Georgia Department of Economic Development. And we also highlighted those students. So it's also a great component of the ISDS. The final program that I'm really going to touch on in depth here is our dual language immersion initiative in Georgia. Dual language immersion is a form of education in which children are educated bilingually, kindergarten all the way up into high school. These programs articulate half the day at least is in another language. So these kids are taught science and math in Spanish, French, German, Japanese, Korean, as well as Chinese or Mandarin. So these programs exist right now in 70 schools spread across several districts in Georgia. And you can see a picture here of the districts that are involved. And of course, they're part of a national community that is growing in dual language immersion. Dual language immersion is an accepted program as a gap closing program. It's an ESOL delivery program. A lot of DLI programs are the ESOL support programs. It is very effective, not only for English learners, but for all learners. This is what the data has shown us. So we try to track as much as we can and support dual language immersion programs. We have a DLI dashboard, we call it, that was created in collaboration with KSU, where you can go and see where these DLI programs are by county. and it's embedded in Google Maps. This is a very important tool as we are constantly being asked where the DLI programs are located at in Georgia. A lot of people who are coming to the state from other places where dual language immersion is growing are looking for those programs as well, as they want to continue that type of education when they get here. We also find that a number of people who are coming here from overseas, whether it be with business, are also interested in these programs as they are comparable to things found in their home countries. So that is the quick synopsis of the dual language immersion programs in Georgia and of the world language programs that we offer. So again, my name is Patrick Wallace, and I'm here to support you. My contact information is on our website, and thank you so much.